Get a credit card that gives you what you need now. A low interest rate on everyday purchases and a place to transfer high interest rate balances. The PenFed Gold Contactless Card is our lowest rate credit card. You can even earn a $100 statement credit when you spend $1,500 in the first 90 days. Join PenFed, and together we can help you keep more of what's yours. Visit PenFed.org/goldcard. To receive any advertised product, you must become a member of PenFed, insured by NCUA.
The Cricket Badger Podcast IPL Daily, in association with Moonrise Cricket. Indian Premier League 2020 13th edition. Every day, every game, every spill, every thrill, every triumph. All the way to the IPL trophy.
Hello everybody, welcome along. It's another edition of the IPL Daily Podcast. Thank you to Bodyline TShirts.com and Moonrise Cricket for their support of this podcast. We've just seen Shikhar Dhawan become the first batsman in IPL history to score back-to-back centuries in the competition. 13 years, nobody's done it before, and certainly nobody's ended up on the losing side after achieving that incredible feat. Delhi Capitals going down today to the Resurgent Kings XI Punjab. Kings XI winning by 5 wickets in Dubai, and they have now beaten the top 3 teams in the tournament as they've charged back into contention in the 13th edition of this competition. To join me to talk about that and then to get into tomorrow's clash, it's Neil Virani and Shah. And we also might be joined by Samson Peter if he manages to latch on to our Zoom call in a few seconds' time. But Neil, that was some knock from Shikhar today, wasn't it? And really sad to see him end up on the losing side after playing such an incredible innings.
Absolutely. And the weird thing is, whenever you see a scorecard where someone's got 100 and the team ends up losing fairly convincingly in the end, you often wonder if it's another case of what is known as the AMLA rule, where a guy's scored 100 but done it so slowly that it ends up being to the detriment of the team. But actually, Shikhar was batting at strike rate of around 170 and no one else got close, discounting Shimron Hetmeyer, who only faced a couple of balls at the end. He was batting on a different pitch to the rest of the Delhi batsmen, and it's just a shame that no one could stay with him.
That's absolutely right. And the rest of the team scored 54 off 59 balls. Shikhar's 106 came off 61 balls. And that just sums up that innings from Delhi Capitals today. He was incredibly dominant, Naman, wasn't he? And you got the feeling, didn't you, that with Delhi Capitals, they just needed maybe another 10, because we all know Kings XI can get a little bit fidgety towards the end of a chase. They nearly did that again today. Stoinis dropping a catch in the penultimate over, which could have just put a bit of pressure on the batting side. But Shikhar was terrific, Naman, wasn't he? And just needed a few of his teammates to stick up and score a few more runs at the end.
Yes, some exceptional batting there for Dhawan. He's looking a complete different player right now. I always felt that earlier he was looking a bit confused whether to take some time and then go for his shots. Right now he's playing with some clear mind. Yes, definitely they needed one of their sloggers, Aksar or Stoinis or Hetmeyer. Hetmeyer came in the last over to stay till the end and maybe add 20 runs more. But I sense a feeling of bit more of complacency. They should not have made too many changes coming into this match. They should first look to seal their spot and then go for changes. Maybe resting Nokia is okay, but making too many changes is not good at this end. They should not take anything for granted right now, because I get a sense of feeling that everyone are going to be stuck at 12 and 14 points. So sealing the spot is more important right now than giving rest to the players.
Apparently Norkie's got a bit of a niggle, and they wanted to just rest him for that niggle rather than because they just wanted to rest him. And Rishabh Pant comes back in, doesn't he? Because he's their best keeper batsman. So surely those team selections were right, Naman.
Yes, then it's fine. I didn't know about Norkie's niggle. I guess the support Rabada got from Norkie was missed today. And I guess that was not to disrespect Punjab's batting. I guess everyone chipped in today. Gale, Puran, Maxwell, everyone chipped in, and I guess their bowling was also good apart from few overs. Shami is taking the charge, he's taking the lead. So overall, kudos to Punjab, and they are looking a dangerous side right now. And I feel they have now identified their best 11.
Yeah, they're looking really good, aren't they? And then they're not relying now, Neil, on Rahul and Agarwal at the top of the order. We saw some of their other batsmen. Chris Gale's come in, 29 off 13 for him, the super striker of the game. I think that's a ridiculous award, to be honest. Somebody comes in for 10 balls and scores 20 runs and gets the super striker of the game. But anyway, that's another discussion for another day. But a 50 from Nicholas Pooran, he's been superb at number 4 for the Kings 11. And Glenn Maxwell even, 32 from him, by far his biggest contribution of the series so far.
Absolutely. I think part of the reason that some of the batsmen have struggled earlier on is just because of how dominant KL and Mayank have been. I think between them, they've scored somewhere close to 800 or 850 runs, and people didn't really get a chance to play that many balls. Today, with both of them failing fairly early on, then Maxwell got a chance to face a good number of balls and did very well. Nick Pooran is an absolute superstar and has been great for a number of games. Although I feel actually their batting hasn't been the issue. Their bowling has been very poor, especially in the death overs. And I think that where they've turned the corner is bringing young Arshdeep Singh in, because he's been superb both up front and at the death. So give Shami a partner who isn't going to leak that many runs. And the 12, 13 and over that they were conceding earlier on has dropped significantly. Their death bowling in this game was superb, and quite possibly it's the difference between Delhi getting 164 and 180, 185.
Arshdeep Singh, I mean, he's one of a number of young Indian pace bowlers in this tournament that have really impressed me. You look around and they all seem to have good heads on their shoulders. They're only young kids, really, but they're sticking up to, or standing up in conditions where, the pressure's really on. It's only good for Indian cricket, that, Neil, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the IPL is very good in terms of exposing players to extreme pressure very early on. And the pressure, some would say, is even more than in international T20s outside the World Cup. So it means that these players, by the time they do make the international grade, they're really quite seasoned competitors.
BodylineTShirts.com. Browse the finest collection of cricketing t-shirts on the web. Hundreds of original cricket designs for cricket players and fans alike, featuring everyone and everything from Larwood to Leach and Cow Corner to Chin Music at BodylineTShirts.com. And you can get 10% off your first order using the code BADGER at checkout. BodylineTShirts.com. T-shirts for the discerning cricket fan. I said at the start of the podcast that Sam would join us if he could get himself onto our Zoom call, and he has done. Sam, how are you?
Hey, James, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. We started without you, but we haven't got too far through the discussions. And just talking about today's game, Sam, good win for Kings 11. Going down the table, Delhi Capitals still top. They're on 14 points from their 10 games played so far. Mumbai Indians and RCB are on 12. Kolkata are on 10 points. Kings 11, though, up to 5th place now on 8 points. Rajasthan Royals on 8 points as well. Sunrisers are on 6, and CSK are down there on 6 as well. But Kings 11 have given themselves a real chance now, haven't they, Sam?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 2 wins, especially the last win, definitely gave them confidence to come back into the game, and they've been winning. It's a little late, but still, they still have a very good chance. They have to win all the games going forward. They still have a good chance, but I think Sunrisers and KKR, I think they're still a better team. It's such a IPL. It's a funny game. It's really exciting to see who's going to make it to the 4th spot. I'm sure that RCB, Mumbai, and Delhi are going to qualify, but the 4th spot is going to be really, really interesting.
To have beaten RCB, though, Sam, and then Mumbai Indians and then Delhi Capitals, the 3 best teams in the tournament so far, Kings 11 go to bed tonight with confidence oozing out of every pore, don't they? They'll feel they can beat anybody now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've beaten very good, strong teams. Teams who are at the top. They always had a very good side, and I think they have made poor choices with the batting order and the leaking runs in the death overs. They made pretty bad choices, but I think as a group they've come really well in the past 3 games, and that is really good to see. But let's see if they have if they can go all the way.
Now, man, your KKR side, just mentioned them in 4th place on 10 points there, but looking over their shoulders, we'll talk about their game tomorrow in just a second, but Kings XI coming on a charge with loads of momentum, which is a huge word in sport and one that is very true in competitions like the IPL. They're on a roll. Rajasthan Royals have got themselves back into winning ways as well. How much are KKR looking above them, thinking about a top 2 spot and thinking about jostling for dominance in the playoffs? And how much of them is looking over their shoulder now? Because they must be a little bit nervous with some teams coming into form behind them.
Yes, James. Looking at the players they are having in there, I still feel they have not played their A game. Especially Sunil Narayan, he is not there right now with Andre Russell, Lockie Ferguson. He has taken the charge of the new ball, but the foreign players have not still played their A game. Morgan, we have not seen the best of him, and also Pat Cummins is not that good with the new ball. Also Nitish Rana, they have performances are there, but there is no consistency over there. I guess the changing of the captaincy will work over here. You will see more Dinesh Karthik, more of him what he is, and not just coming over there at any positions and just trying to perform and show your skills at IPL level. But I guess right now what they needed was a still head, which Morgan will bring. And I loved how he used all the bowlers in that game with Shivam Mavi giving the new ball and Lockie Ferguson whenever needed. He gave wickets at regular intervals. So yes, they are slowly making their best playing 11, choosing their best guns, but yes, they are yet to play their A game, especially with Russell in there.
Moonrise is a sports engagement website to allow sports fans to learn from the very best. Get a personal video message recorded for a fan's special occasion. Have a professional cricketer as your next coach by getting video feedback or having a 30-minute conversation with some of the world's best players. Players such as Jimmy Neesham, Colin Munro, Tammy Beaumont, Danny Wyatt, Monty Panesar. Visit moonrisesports.com or go to Moonrise Sports on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Moonrise Cricket, let's play. Let's choose our Moonrise moment of the match today then. Kings XI getting home against the Delhi Capitals. Neil, where would you take me for your Moonrise moment of the game today?
I think it's got to be the big man, the universe boss, taking young Deshpande for 26 off his first over was brutal, absolutely brutal to watch. But yeah, wonderful at the same time.
He's an absolute bully, isn't he? When he gets going, Chris Gale, it's almost rude, isn't it? The way he just nonchalantly dispatches play, good bowlers into the crowd with complete disdain. Now, man, what about you? Where would you take me for your Moonrise moment of the match today?
Yeah, I'll go with Neil. I was about to say the same moment. I guess Gale was pretty brutal over there, and he set the tone, he set the platform over there for the rest of the players. And his presence, you can see the energy. There's a lot of positivity around with him smiling and pushing all the players, and he going with so much. His presence is meaning a lot right now, and they needed him badly. So yes, I'll go that. I guess the game changed over there. I'll go with Neil. Same.
I think you're right, Naman. I think his play's only part of it, isn't it? You look at his aura in that side. Some of those youngsters that are playing in that Kings XI side, just to play alongside a Chris Gale, just makes them probably another couple of inches taller when it comes to running out there onto the pitch. It's not to be underestimated, his qualities in the dressing room and his just presence out there on the pitch. He's a big weapon for Kings XI going forward in this tournament. Sam, what about you? Moonrise moment of the match for you today?
Definitely want to go with what Naman and Neil suggested, but just to be a little different, I would like to go with the ball that Ashwin used to get Chris Gale, because it's always fun to watch Ashwin bowl against Chris Gale. He's dismissed him quite a lot of times, even when he used to play against RCB and CSK matches. He used to hit Ashwin ball at them because he always used to get him. So I think that was a brilliant ball to get the big man out.
I think that's a decent nomination, but I think even you at the start of that gave 30% of your vote to Chris Gale's over against Deshpande. So we're going to give the Moonrise moment of the match today, and quite fitting that it's a Kings XI player, Chris Gale, for taking 26 off a single over. Want to get your game the very best it can be? The future of coaching Talk to a Pro. 30-minute video conversation, video analysis from players at the top of their game, video shout-outs, get a personalised message from a pro. Great for birthdays, congratulations messages, a prank or a simple hello. Visit moonrisesports.com or go to Moonrise Sports on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Moonrise Cricket, let's play. Let's have a look ahead then to tomorrow's game. And your team, we mentioned it, Naman, they're back in action as well. Kolkata Knight Riders taking on RCB. RCB have been really impressive for me in this tournament so far. Kolkata Knight Riders, not quite so much so, with all due respect. Naman, it's a big game for them tomorrow in Abu Dhabi, isn't it, KKR?
Very much a big game. It's like more of winning every match from here. There is no room for error, and they need to play, as I mentioned earlier, they need to bring on their A game, especially the foreign players, with Morgan leading there. And I feel maybe a match or so, maybe they need to give Cummins a bit of a break. I guess it has been a long journey after with this pandemic on, playing in England and coming here. I just feel he has been a bit lethargic and he needs a break, maybe a game or so. But rest of the players needs to step on. I also feel that Shubman Gill is not that quite impressive as he was in the beginning of this IPL, just like Samson. But yes, they completely need to bring in their A game, and Russell needs to move on from here. He really needs to step in if they really need to target those spots upwards.
Neil, I'm interested to hear your views on tomorrow's game. From your Sunrisers Hyderabad perspective, you're our fan for that franchise, and you look at the table, Sunrisers on 6 points. Are you looking at this as you want RCB to beat Kolkata to keep Kolkata within range, or are you seeing it a different way?
I think it's a wonderful opportunity for our first rained-out match, just to help Sunrisers out a little bit. Assuming that doesn't happen, then no, I think you always want to see the best team win. I think that RCB should have too much for Calcutta, but as a alleged neutral, you just want to see Russell and AB going at it and trying to hit more sixes than each other.
If KKR did win though, Neil, that takes them to 12 points. That would mean that the top four would be 6 points away from you with only 5 games for Sunrisers left to play. That's a big ask, isn't it then?
It is a big ask, but we have seen miracles in the past. I think it was Mumbai Indians and Corey Ferguson managed to make up a ridiculous deficit 5 years ago. So there's still hope. I don't think we've been that far away in our last few games. So I wouldn't rule us out against just about anyone else in this league on a one-on-one. If we can get on a roll, then we've still got a chance, however tough it may be.
What Neil's just said there, Sam, is something I wrote in a preview for tomorrow's game when I wrote it this morning, is that Virat Kohli, he must be really pleased with how RCB are playing. He must be very happy with his own form. It's a balanced side that RCB have had now, and for the last 3 seasons, they haven't had that at all, and they've been quite woeful at times in the IPL. But IPLs are won by the teams finishing the best, aren't they? Not necessarily the teams starting the best. So Virat needs to keep his foot on the pedal and keep that going throughout the rest of the tournament.
It's absolutely right, James. I mean, we've done really well in the first half, and now we just need to continue the process. And every player is aware of what their roles are and how they should go about their game. And they've done really well in the first half. Virat is back in form. AB is he's always in form. Devdutt Padikkal is doing things. He needs to get back his form. Their bowling has come really well this doing that, and if you don't take things for granted, I think we should definitely qualify. We need 2 more games from 5 games. I think we'll be qualifying, and I think that is really good. And we should look at aiming at staying in the top 2 position, because that gives an advantage. So we should not take things for granted. We should continue with the process that they were playing, and I think it should take them all the way to the playoffs.
Cricket's a game played with balls. You've got to look after them in the field. Badgers are furry creatures, and my friends at Manscaped.com help you make sure it's neat and tidy down there. Oh, get rid of all that excess fur. Make sure that you're neat and tidy. Make sure everything's in the right order. Oh, feeling all good now down in my set. Oh, Manscaped.com. Maximum skin-safe performance, compact design, advanced engineering, ceramic blade, waterproof. And it doesn't end there. Show you care by caring for your pair. Cleansers, revivers, preservers. Simply go to manscaped.com. Quote the discount code BADGER. You get 20% off, you get free shipping, and you get some seriously quality equipment. Manscaped.com. Get on there now. I think it's going to be a really interesting game, this one tomorrow, and it's a chance for RCB to really, I think, ink themselves in to those playoff places, or KKR to give themselves a real chance of making the Final Four. One final question for each of you in turn. Taking your respective fan reps' hats off, which other side in the IPL do you think is going to win it now? After seeing the games that we've seen so far, we're 9 games into each of these franchises' seasons now. We've seen already that anybody can beat anybody in this tournament, but obviously the most consistent rise to the top of the league. Start with you, Neil. If not Sunrisers, who?
Mumbai. They're an absolute juggernaut. Most professional side out there, and they're just grinding people down. The team I'd like to see win, who I think have got a very good chance, are Delhi, because they're extremely exciting. A lot of young players there, but Mumbai have been there, they've done it, they've seen everything before, and they don't get fazed by any situation, and there's just quality all the way throughout the team. At the moment, I can't see past them.
Sam, what about you? If it's not going to be RCB, where would your money go for who's going to win the IPL this season?
I would want to say Delhi Capitals, but like Neil mentioned, Mumbai, they're a complete side. It's nothing they haven't seen. They just stick to their game. Everyone is so strong. Someone steps up and they just always make it. And they have this attitude. It's not over until it's done. That's what we saw in the last year. It really came out on the wire where they actually won the game. It was Chennai all the way, but they came out of nowhere and they just won the trophy. They have a really strong team, and that's the reason I feel that they can win.
Now, man, if it's not going to be KKR, who do you think is going to win it this time around?
So my mind says the same Mumbai. They are looking so strong. I mean, as Sam mentioned, every player is jumping in. Every match they are playing, sometimes it's bowler, sometimes it's batsman, sometimes it's Pollard, sometimes it's Pandya. So they are having all the ammunitions over there. But what I am seeing right now, my heart is still with Punjab. I feel that they are going to surprise everyone. I was like, where do you get to see this batting lineup with Gale, Puran, Maxwell, Nisham coming in at 7? I mean, this is the most dangerous side on paper. Like, I've never seen such a batting lineup till 7 with all are just, if they on their best day, they will go more than 200 if one of them goes berserk.
I'm going to call it now. The top 4 when we come to the end of this IPL will be Delhi Capitals, Mumbai Indians, RCB, and I think Kings XI might just creep in. Sorry, Naman. And I think RCB / Delhi Capitals will win the IPL. I'm going to keep my options open, but I think it's going to be one of those two this season. Tell you what, though, it's been an absolutely terrific IPL 13 so far, and it's not over yet. So stay tuned to the IPL Daily. We'll be back with you every day as we go through the rest of this tournament. Neil, Naman, and Sam, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, James.
Thank you, James. Thank you, guys.
And thank you to you for listening. As I say, we'll be back every single day throughout the rest of this competition. So stay tuned. Thank you to Bodyline TShirts.com and to Moonrise Cricket for their support of this IPL Daily Podcast. I've been James, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for listening. Join us every day throughout IPL 2020. Follow us on Twitter at cricket_badger. Join in the fun. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Support for this episode has been provided by Ratio keto-friendly dairy snacks. If counting macros makes your head spin, count instead on a snack by Ratio. They've done the math for you, so you can spend less time studying the label and more time enjoying your day. Creamy and delicious, try strawberry and vanilla for 2 grams of carbs and a unique combination of sugar and protein. Interested? Ratio keto-friendly dairy snacks are now available in the yogurt aisle at Walmart. Always consult your physician before starting an eating plan that involves regular consumption of high-fat foods.